Hey guys, I want to take a quick opportunity to share with you guys, product or release that I saw at Cisco SEVT, the security SEVT, that I thought was very interesting and compelling. So I just wanted to get you guys up to speed and let you know about this. um, so the product is you saw on the first page, Cloud Mailbox Defense. I'm going to do a presentation, take a couple minutes about to tell you why we built this tool, and then you know what it has to do with the new and evolving security market that really was kind of created by Gartner, and then we'll dive into the product and its features. So let's talk about some trends in email security here. I'm just going to buzz right through this. The move to cloud for email has been well underway for years now. We know the attraction, of a more user-friendly experience and, lower operational expense, really has driven, all businesses, all sizes to the SaaS email providers, not just our customers. According to Gartner, you can see here 73% of public and private companies will primarily use cloud email security by 2021. Microsoft has claimed the most market share in this space with about 62%, and is predicted to remain the leader as more companies migrate their existing Microsoft Exchange infrastructure to the cloud. The reason I mention this is is to illustrate why we're focusing specifically on Microsoft with Cloud Mailbox Defense. In the future, we will look to expand our offering to Google's G Suite and other cloud email providers, but right now the BU's laser focused on O365 just simply because of their market share. So threat vector, email continues to be the most effective way to gain a foothold into a business network. And as long as email exists, it will be probably the initial go-to for attackers. And it makes sense because it's the quickest way to get executable code or phishing, or a phishing page in front of a user. It's the primary vector for malware infections because it puts malicious payload in front of the user and only one click away from an exploit. It's the primary vector for credential harvesting because users are conditioned to create and reset passwords via email notifications. But kind of beyond just delivering malware and stealing credentials, attackers are better than ever at crafting sophisticated social engineering attacks. We know honestly that the weakest link in the security chain is the end user, and what better way to exploit that than through email. Number one threat vector, you all know that. I'm not telling you anything new. You can kind of see some data there on that sheet around it, so I won't pound that home anymore. Protecting any software or infrastructure from attacks is really an arms race. Offensive tools and malware are only ever as sophisticated as they need to be to work. Because of their success in the marketplace, Microsoft's email offering is by far the most targeted. Attackers know that if they put their resources into evading O365's built-in security protection, then their tool scales very well. Instead of targeting individual companies' defenses, they can ensure that their techniques are reusable across hundreds of targets. Everyone that's moved to that O365 environment. Malware creators are working under the assumption that the Microsoft ATP and EOP are in place and have been, they've been exceptionally good at circumventing them. So, again, Microsoft has that market share. You breach their security solutions, and you're able to be successful as a nefarious actor. So, Gartner has coined the term Cloud Email Supplemental Security, CESS, to describe a new family of products that augments built-in cloud security protection. CESS uses a new approach to email security, which emphasizes direct integration with APIs of cloud email providers. And you can see here that back in June of 2019, they recommended that customers who are using cloud emails supplement built-in protection like Exchange Online protection with either a secure email gateway or a CESS solution. So there have been, almost $100 million or nearly $100 million in funding to startups who are using this new model. Cisco is the first major player to enter this space. And, with our, top of the line, best in industry threat research team with Talos, we're really perfectly positioned to lead the way in this market. We have a huge opportunity here, really as the only tier one player with a CESS offering. So let's jump into the product overview and take a look at it. So, Cloud Mailbox Defense is designed specifically around three principles, and that's native APIs, simplicity, and integration with Talos intelligence. We have made technical decisions at every step to ensure that we are following these principles. The user interface, scanning, and remediation actions all use the most modern technology and leverage APIs that get us as close to the mailbox as possible. The deployment and operation has no extra options or knobs to tweak. We want it to just work out of the box, simple to deploy, simple to manage, just, simple. Simplicity is key. Now, we also know it takes, Cisco threat intelligence and, we want to take Cisco threat intelligence and leverage it inside Microsoft's cloud. Again, bringing these protections as close to the mailbox as possible, right? So, simplicity. We'll start there. When we say simplicity, we really mean it. We want this product to deploy as fast as possible without infrastructure changes and to be effective within minutes. Think Umbrella, or no changes to the mail flow or MX record, for those of you who are familiar with that, is required, meaning there is no operational risk to message delivery. Cisco understands email is critical infrastructure, and deploying security controls really should not require a compromise of message delivery. So Cloud Mailbox Defense can be deployed in less than 5 minutes without any change to the customer's mail flow. Our current cloud email security gateway is incredibly feature rich, has a lot of options for customization and policy control. And you can make really granular decisions based on threat score, or individual user or group, or even custom filters, right? Our philosophy is that this product should just work out of the box and require no specialized knowledge or tweaking. We're primarily targeting a set of customers who have moved to the cloud because it's easier. So we want to make this easy. The simplicity even extends to the offering itself. We're going to have one SKU, with multiple seat bands to determine pricing options. So should be very easy to quote. And then if you want to integrate tools, integrating tools like AMP and ThreatGrid behind the scenes, that's done, and it doesn't require any additional licensing, that we impose on the user. So pretty cool. Visibility. Because our architecture is fundamentally new, we can see every message sent and received, including those sent between internal mailboxes. That's key, right? Email gateway offerings that sit on the perimeter can't offer that, right? They see it at the perimeter edge. We can tell the entire story of a message and what mailboxes have been affected, right? So we design our search and triage page to be, the perfect tool for email administrators, security operations, incident response, just really across the board. So a lot of visibility for all those different types of positions. And then integration. We didn't want to reinvent the wheel when it comes to detection and remediation. We want to take what we already do really well and integrate directly into Microsoft, so we can leverage things like Talos, AMP, ThreatGrid, kind of in new ways, and a lot of API integrations that you'll see. So, like I said earlier, we want to bring the power of Cisco's industry-leading threat intelligence as close to the mailbox as possible. We are running our scanning engine and making our API calls directly from Azure. So that means that message content remains inside Microsoft's cloud. When our scanning is complete, the verdict and metadata are indexed in Cloud Mailbox Defense, but the message content is not. Cloud file analysis with ThreatGrid is available, but can be configured not to send any attachment or content out of Azure. So we have all the protection that you would expect in a full form email security product, just like our normal gateway. We examine every component of a message. The attachment hash is checked against known malicious files, and the file itself can be run in our cloud file analysis engine to detect unknown malware. Sender reputation is checked using Cloud Reputation API or cloud using Cloud Intelligence APIs to check the reputation. So we know if we know the data is as fresh as possible. It's our threat intelligence cloud threat intelligence database. Embedded links are evaluated per category and reputation. The content of a message is analyzed to identify phishing and business email compromise, and we obviously can detect spam. All these checks are run against every message, even those that are sent between internal users. So we can detect insider threats, lateral movement, and malware propagation throughout the network. So just kind of a one pager here. I created just the difference between a gateway, the traditional gateway, and CESS. Obviously I've mentioned traditional gateway. You got to change the MX record to the gateway's address. The gateway scans messages and takes action, and then a message is delivered. With Cloud Mailbox Defense, the MX record is unchanged. A copy of each message is sent to Cloud Mailbox Defense. Cloud Mailbox Defense scans and remediates using an API. So how's that all work? For those of you that are former Exchange administrators on top of network engineers, journaling won't be new to you, but the way we receive messages is through message journaling. Journaling, was initially created to serve legal requirements around record retention and discovery. So every message is sent that is sent or received is encapsulated in a new message and sent to an external address for storage. This includes all the original headers and message content, including attachments. So you can kind of see here, down at the bottom, you've got a mailbox. We've got journaling turned on. Journaling creates a copy of that. Talos security engine and APIs, they look at file analysis and reputation. We get a verdict back, and then that verdict is shared with the Cloud Mailbox Defense and via APIs. And you can see here that reaches into that mailbox and it looks at that information. And so to kind of look at exactly what information is shared with Cloud Mailbox Defense, this is kind of an example of the metadata: message headers, senders, recipients, subject, message ID, attachment hashes, URLs, and then like the verdict we talked about earlier. So, and you can see there down at the bottom too, that's an important one. Data is stored for 3 months. This information is stored for 3 months in Cloud Mailbox Defense. So, and all of that's taking place within Azure. So positioning, just last few slides here, wrap it up. Primary use cases, pure O365 deployments, additional security protections, simplicity, easy use, no tweaking, no mailbox flow changes. So pretty simple. I'm sure you figured that out as I was talking through this. So when to use secure email gateway. I mean, most of you have probably are familiar with, our current offering or different email gateways, but, you got a requirement for connection time filtering or per user or group policies, custom message filtering, quarantine option, the ability to quarantine a message, data loss prevention integration, or, let's say they're a on-prem or a hybrid mailbox, they're not fully in O365 yet. Those are some of the key ones to look at there for when you position the gateway. The one thing that I'll probably end on here is, this is a standalone product that is designed to supplement built-in cloud protections. But it's also well suited to augment a secure email gateway deployment. We went over those use cases just a minute ago, and it's really because it extends visibility into the message between internal users that the perimeter device can't see, even without auto remediation enabled. Cloud Mailbox Defense is a powerful tool to enrich incident response investigations. Every feature of the product is built on top of open APIs, so security operations can leverage it in their detection and triage to infrastructure. Right, email administrators will benefit from being able to quickly search all messages and so a lot of cool things there. But I think the big thing there is, the ability to see that information from an internal user to an internal user. That's something that you might, security teams and SOCs might want to leverage that in addition to a gateway they already have. So again, I talked about this earlier. There's no SKUs out right now, but one SKU, there's no add-ons for AMP or Threat Grid, and flexible seat bands. So it should be fairly easy to quote, and also very easy for our users to stand up, quick to deploy. That's it. There is a demo out there. There's not a dCloud yet, but I have seen a demo of this. It is super simple. If I can get my hands on that, I will try to do a demo recording for you guys. Have a good one, guys. Talk to you later.